Lakers Miami Heat, who wins the series and why? Guys, this series is going to go quote unquote the distance. It's going to be a 6 to 7 game series depending on a couple factors. Can the Lakers figure out the zone? Can Miami Heat impose the zone and impose their will? Can Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson keep up their shooting? Can the Los Angeles Lakers actually become more of a threat from the three-point range? So all these factors come into place. Foul trouble, that's another thing. How's Anthony Davis' psyche going into the NBA Finals? And one of the key things that a lot of people are really talking about, which is rightfully so, there's a lot of personal issues going in here. Pat Riley versus LeBron. You know, when LeBron left Miami, one of the key things that he was told, and people know that this was actually coming from Pat Riley, even though LeBron never put a name on it. He said people he trusted and built relationships with told him, if you leave Miami, this will be the biggest mistake you ever made in your career. That was huge. That's what propelled him to win the championship in Cleveland. You know, along with Draymond Green gets suspended. He kept that in mind. It's so personal. Pat Riley, like, hey, we try to get you guys back to stay in Miami. We're going to retool, maybe get rid of Bosh and try to bring another guy in. And LeBron left him basically high and dry. He didn't even tell Wade that he was leaving. This is a very personal series. Legacies in terms of LeBron James' legacy, in terms of Eric Spoelstra's legacy. If Eric Spoelstra can come back with the Miami Heat, win a championship with this team against LeBron James, stick it to him, he goes down as one of the greatest coaches as well. You know, this is unprecedented. Keys to both series for both teams, you're looking at Jimmy Butler. In this series, he has to play well. Jimmy Butler's going to have to use his star power because even with everybody doing everything by committee for the Heat, you need a consistent scorer. And if you think, honestly, right now, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. If Bam Adebayo is going to be your bailout or he's going to outplay Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Anthony Davis all in a row, after the Lakers just faced a big man who basically does, if not more what Adebayo does, mid-range, offensive rebound, try to back you down. Lakers have faced all that already, and they have more length. So you can't really count on Bam Adebayo to be the focal point of your offense, really. You're going to say, well, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, that's something they could deal with. They haven't dealt with defense as disciplined as the Los Angeles Lakers, especially on the perimeter. Lakers aren't going to be fouling a bunch of three-point shooters. They'll rather you just take an off-balance three rather than foul you. That's just the bottom line. The problem with the Celtics is they fouled a whole heck of a lot in that series. And that's what really cost them turnovers and fouling a lot. They fouled way too much and put the Miami Heat on the line. So Jimmy Butler is going to have to average like 10 to 11 free throws a game to make this series competitive. Zone is going to have to work. They're going to have to bait them, LeBron James, Anthony Davis to take a whole lot of threes and not, bottle up Green, Caldwell Pope. Anybody else that can shoot a three, they're going to have to try to bottle them up and make Anthony Davis and LeBron James three-point shooters, take them out of their element, try to bait them from going inside. That's going to be key to the series. For the Lakers, this is what's going to come down to. LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing to their top quality and best of their ability. LeBron, they're going to send double teams at him. Early and often, sometimes, let them play without a crowd, sometimes in a crowd. LeBron, are you going to stay at the top of the key like a James Harden and kind of do what you did when you lost to Dallas and just stay at the top of the key and try to control the game and basically get doubled and killed that way? Or are you going to go to the block? That's the trump card. You have Anthony Davis in the block, but is LeBron James going to start out in the block sometimes, come back out off a pick and roll, and attack going downhill? That's going to be the key to me. LeBron and the Lakers and Anthony Davis, they already know how to attack a zone. But that's not the issue. The issue is, are you going to be baited into shooting a bunch of threes? And if you are going to be baited into shooting a bunch of threes, then you will lose the series because that's not their game. That's not their game at all. Of course, you can get hot here and there, but you don't want to get into a three-point shootout. Of course, this is going to be a defensive game for both teams. We're going to be looking at scores will not be in the highest score we'll see is probably like 105 to 101 in this series. This is going to be a really high-powered defensive matchup. All the defense being played, we're going to be seeing some bad shooting. Another factor for the Lakers is Anthony Davis. What kind of mind frame are you going to go in with? Are you going to go in passive like you did in the Denver Nuggets series? A lot of times, first half, he will go in and then he will kind of disappear and then kind of try to make his way back. These are the kind of things that we're seeing. But this tandem for the Lakers, it's like a reincarnation of Kobe and Shaq to me but just a Kobe and a Shaq that's more seasoned. Anthony Davis and LeBron, even though this is really their first really big run, LeBron's season, Anthony Davis' season, them coming together, can they beat that quote-unquote zone? And they're going to have to kind of look at kind of like what Portland, that old series where Kobe and Shaq played Portland, how they played them. They're going to look at how teams try to use the zone against them. The Nuggets tried that. They're really going to have to go into their Rolodex. Frank Vogel is really going to have to make adjustments on the fly. Now, who wins this series? This is no disrespect to anybody. I'm picking the Lakers to win this series in 6 games. I don't think it's going to be a 5-game series. All that 5-5 crap doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I don't think the Heat are going to lay down because the Heat should have just as much on the line. If they win this series, that just goes to prove like hard work beats talent every time if the talent is not willing to work hard. And it just validates Jimmy Butler's style of leadership. And it will actually be, you know, a major hit on LeBron's legacy, which I'll do another video on that as well. However, Lakers, even though they're the better team, they're the first seed, they're supposed to win, you know, they have a tall task as well because they have to not get complacent. And that's one of the key problems with teams that are supposed to win. They get very complacent, they get very arrogant, like the Celtics, and they lose. Like the Bucks, and they lose. So I think LeBron is keeping that in the back of his mind, and he doesn't want to lose this series. So I'm picking the Lakers in 6. I feel like their size, I feel like their ability to attack the zone, they're not going to stay on the perimeter and try to attack the zone. Plus, if you factor in their height, they're going to be able to get entry passes into the zone a lot better, keep Anthony Davis in that foul line extended, and he's going to go to work. And if he doesn't go to work, guess what? Somebody else is going to catch a lob, whether it's Dwight Howard. See, that's that high-low. If you don't attack them, you know, high, then the low is open. If you stay on the low, then the jumper is open. And Anthony Davis is a good foul line extended jump shooter, especially with that floater. Then if they do an inside pick and roll on your zone, LeBron gets to the cup, he gets fouled and one, or he kicks out for a 3. So these are all the things to keep in mind. I think the Heat, as much as it's been successful for them, I don't think they should try to play zone against the Los Angeles Lakers. I think they should really mix it in here and there, and if they get a lead, just play man-to-man. And you know, let your shooters go to work, let the offense go to work for you. But if you're going to play zone against such a big team like the Lakers, you're going to give up a lot of boards, and second chance points, which will kill you. That's why I'm picking the Lakers. I mean, they got the 2 best players in the series. The thing about the Lakers, they can play any kind of ball. They can play small ball, Anthony at the 5, LeBron at the 2 or the 1 or whatever, and the Rondo at the 1. I mean, they could play any style you want to play. Even though the Heat have the best defenders statistically against LeBron James, that doesn't matter in this instance because they will be tested and they will get in foul trouble. And if Jimmy Butler gets in foul trouble, where are you going to get your scoring from? I know Goran Dragic is huge and all this other stuff, but the length, I'm telling you, the length is going to be a problem, and the discipline of the Lakers is going to come into play. Hoops Junction, Hoops Meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.